Good morning, Toya. Can you hear me okay? And can you see my screen? Let me know. Okay, perfect. Perfect. Go ahead and click on the poll and answer the question. What do you think? Okay, so you feel the dollar's gonna rise? We will see. All right, so we got about 7 minutes left on the clock. We have advanced GDP, gross domestic product. All right, and dun, 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 dun. Annualized change in the inflation adjusted value of all goods and services produced by the economy. That's what your GDP is. All right. It was 3.1% previous month. They're expecting it to go to 2.7%. Okay. So they're expecting it to go down. All right. And it says actual greater than forecasted is good for currency. So if it comes to 2.8 or higher, supposedly that's going to be good for our GDP. All right. Who knows? Maybe that'll make the dollar go up, or maybe not, because we also have unemployment claims coming out as well. Previous month it was 223,000. This month is forecasted for 224,000. So that's more unemployment claims. Again, that doesn't sound good. All right. It says actual less than forecasted is good for currency. And that just makes sense, right? If more people are not claiming unemployment, then they're employed and the economy's doing good. So they're expecting it to go higher, which is a bad thing. They're expecting GDP to go lower, which again would be a bad thing if it goes lower than 2.7. As we stand right now on the dollar, guys, we're rejecting this level of resistance, and we have this huge fair value gap to fill that we haven't for since we broke this high, right? We had nice bullish divergence, bit of a double bottom, if you will, and then we broke this high, went up and pushed to make this high, but we never came back to this fair value gap or this demand level. So, Toya, I know you think the dollar's going to rise, but it's pointing to the potential of a fall. All right. Again, if news comes out good for either one of these, we could definitely see the dollar rise. And we did get a change, right, from down to up, right? So we should be continuing up, but we may fill in this gap first, maybe push down a little further, right, into this demand level here, all right, before we go and rise up. All right. Today is one of those very tricky days with the setup on the chart, right? Because it's so 50-50, right? It can go either way, and we got to be very careful with that, all right? From this higher time frame, again, we got the nice push up. All of that downtrend was just a pullback to this demand area, but you can see that we still, excuse me, are kind of making these lower highs, so we can absolutely, continue falling. All right, but it's going to be very interesting to see how this plays out. So back to the 15-minute, we got all our details, and we'll put some alerts on. All right, bring this a little closer. But ultimately, guys, I don't have a bias on where it's going to go. The results will tell me for sure. It's just that I know it should rise. But like any time that you're trading during news, it will fill any imbalances, right? It'll tap into an area of demand or supply, just depending on what the chart, what the overall direction, trend direction of that chart or pair was. And then it'll go in, the opposite direction. So what I'm saying is that I believe it will fall first, but then eventually rise. So we're going to see 3 minutes left on the clock. Okay, so you think it's going to fall. All right. All right. So while we're waiting on that, and again, guys, we just got a few minutes. So 3 minutes now on the clock, but I want to show you guys US 30. All right. It looks beautiful. Okay. So here we got pretty much a triple top, if you will, and this nice bearish engulfing candle from this level of supply. So I'm expecting, again, I already called this for the team. US 30 was the only one that didn't go into profit for us yesterday. We took NAS. Let me see. Yeah, we took NAS. NAS went into profit for us all over here, but then pulled back, and we still survived it. We didn't get kicked out. And now, we're potentially going to get that drop because it's looking like a double top. All right. And that was no bars intended. All right. But US 30 looks very, very good. All right. For a continuation to the downside. Or really for a reversal to the downside, should I say. Because you can see that we've been rising, quite nicely. All right. Alerts going off on the dollar. Did we get? Nope. So it's still a minute and some change left, but it's already falling. Again, let's get low. All right, I think maybe I like the 30-minute better. All right, yeah, there we go. So, minute 25 seconds, almost there. All right. Okay, and again, if you're new, welcome, welcome. I am open to any questions that you guys may have regarding Forex, technical, fundamental, psychological. It doesn't matter. Lay it on me and I got you. All right, 40 seconds left on the clock. Again, we have dollar economic news, major economic news for GDP, gross domestic product. They expect it to go down. If it does, that's not good. Unemployment, they expect it to go up. If it does, that's not good. All right, so we don't know if we're going to get two bads, two goods, or a good and a bad. Right, so this can be very mixed. Again, the price action on the dollar shows you that things are very indecisive. All right, so that already kind of tells the picture, but the overall structure has changed to up. So we expect manipulation down and then up. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. So we should see the dollar do something. All right, results are not out yet. All right, so we got good results on unemployment. It went down to 207 instead of 224. So that was good. And now we're waiting on GDP. GDP went down to 2.3. That was bad. All right, so we got a good and a bad. We got mix. So that just shows us no movement. Okay, don't know which way to go. All right, just as we were since the beginning of the week. All right, from Monday all the way to now, still no movement. We should have gotten movement on Tuesday when we had consumer sentiment, and that came out bad. The dollar should have dropped, but it didn't. All right, so again, just you never know what you're gonna get, like a Tootsie Roll, but you know, this is where we are. All right, so again, typically, guys, that first 30 minutes, that first hour, you're gonna get manipulation, typically. All right, but that's not all the time. Okay, so please keep that in mind. All right, so we just got the alert set, and we'll have to come back and see once it wants to actually make a move. All right, so let's take a look at some other pairs, see if our indices moved at all. All right, it's pushing up a little bit. There are fair value gaps here that it most likely will tap into before it drops. All right, so here's one. Okay, and here is two. Okay, I would like for it to respect this first fair value gap and then drop, but you never know. All right, looking at our odd dollar, guys, and I probably can clean this up some. Yeah, that's what I'll do. Okay, so I'm kind of torn in between the two on this as well, because we did have a nice rising channel. We broke out of it and we started going down. So I'm going to put some of my friends on the line here and see. All right, so we are below a pivot point and the moving averages are above price. So we should fall. All right, and again, the dollar should rise. But we're going to see. All right, US 30 may be falling. All right, looks good. Okay, I like that the moving averages are above price. So again, here's our pivot point that we just broke below. So we may get that retest up into that fair value gap right at that pivot point and then start to fall. All right, but just going to get some more alerts on it. So again, guys, hopefully you guys are looking at US 30 for a potential big drop. All right, by the time the stock market opens, we'll get more volatility, more movement on the indices. All right, but you have a opportunity to put a sell limit order, okay, in this area of this fair value gap and this pivot point, and then you can either put your stop behind this high, or try to play it super safe with putting it behind the level of supply. Again, we have a high and we have a low. All right, it's not a curved low, but it's still a low nonetheless. If we go to a time frame like the 5-minute, all right, we'll see that we actually do have a structured low. All right, so what we can do, again, go back to the 15. All right, and we're going to put Fibonacci on from this high to this low and look at where the golden zone sits right up within the top of this first fair value gap and the bottom of the second fair value gap. So again, guys, a sell limit order in this area will do you justice for getting into the trade for sell to the downside. But if you want, you can try to buy it right now up into this area. If you do that, right, you can make $91, right, off a micro lot. So roughly, you can get anywhere from 50 to $100, all right, off a micro lot on US 30. And you'll be risking 50 pips. All right. So again, that'll give you a 1 to 2, but you know, it's all on how you want to play that. I'm not going to look to buy it because I feel that it is counter trend, right? It's showing us that price wants to go down. So I don't technically want to purchase price for a buy if I, you know, expect it to go down. I can, right? You can also, right? It just depends on how you want to play it. But the way this typically works is we get in with the trend. All right. So the trend is your friend. Just want to wait for that push up. You know, either by, you know, setting alerts, right? And then you'll go and do a market order whenever you see some bears show up. Or if you don't want to keep looking at the chart, right, you can set the sell limit, right, with your stop loss, again, either above this high or above supply. So when price does rise, it activates you, right? It gets you in this order for a sell, and then you'll catch everything on the way down. All right. So please go ahead and put it in your demo or your live account, you know, whichever one you feel, so that you can take advantage. All right. If you stay ready, you don't have to get ready. That's how that goes. All right. So alerts going off on that. Let's just go and take a look at the dollar really quick, see if there's anything there. And again, welcome everyone. Please feel free to ask any questions or comments you may have. There is a survey at the top, even though news is done with, and we really haven't gotten any movement on the dollar whatsoever. I'm going to take off my indicators, and again, no alerts set. So odd dollar, right, still looks like it's going to fall. Euro dollar also looks like it's going to fall, but it's mixed because it's respecting these lows right here. So this is very mixed on the euro dollar. Pound dollar kind of looks like it's going to drop. All right, I'm going to just put a little alert for that. All right, what's going on with natural gas? Okay, natural gas is starting to look like it's going to drop. Again, my team has already sold this and we've made a good amount of money, right? But now slight pullback and now we're starting to drop once again. So I'm hoping this is the run to where we can break support and push on down, getting closer to our take profit. All right. So back to GU. Again, looking bearish, but time will tell. All right, do have an alert set on it, and I will put one above just in case. All right. But moving on, guys, looking at New Zealand dollar, and this also looks bearish. All right. Yeah, I won't clean too much up here, but I can see still the potential for the fall. It's still mixed, but you know, again, since we changed structure from up to down, and we're still downtrend structure here, we can still fall. So I'm going to lean towards the bearish side for New Zealand dollar. All right, this is dollar CAD. All right, and again, if we're expecting the dollar to rise, then a pair like the dollar CAD we will expect to rise. All right, so I'm just going to get rid of this for now. And again, we are, if you guys look at the structure here, it is making uptrend structure. All right, so we're still in a bit of a uptrend here on the dollar CAD to where we can continue rising and probably breaking above this high, going to sweep this liquidity that's sitting up here, as well as liquidity that sits right there. All right, so if we buy it, we're looking at a potential 50 pip take profit or 100 pip take profit. All right, and that's with risking about 17 pips roughly. Okay, so I'm going to set some alerts just to see if we start rising on the dollar CAD, and then we'll come back to it to try to take advantage. All right, dollar CHF. Okay, now this looks very good for a buy right now, guys. So pull up dollar CHF. We're going to end up taking this one. Okay, so we just broke this level of supply, which is now turned into a level of support, and it is very, very nicely structured. So let me just try to illustrate this for you guys really quick, but please pull up $CHF. We are going to buy. Okay, so from here you guys can see all of that price action, right? Shooting down, right? Touch here, touch there, almost, right? And then again, in this area, we were thinking about it, messing around, but now we finally broke above that area, okay? So let me get rid of this, and I think we can get rid of this for now. All right, so now we're doing multiple time frame analysis, right? We're on the 4 hour, so we're going to go down to the 2 hour because we want more detail. And here on the 2 hour, guys, again, you can see the break is super clean above what used to be resistance, now acting as support. Nice rejection below the candles, guys. I'm ready to take this for a buy. So I'm putting in my long position. All right, and again, guys, pull up $CHF, and I'm going to get right behind this structured low, right about there. All right, so we really have a little bit more touches right about here. All right, and let's see. So just looking at this break, and we've gotten that retest. So let's get a little lower, say 15 minutes. Okay, so I'll get rid of this area of support just for now, and I'll get rid of the trend line. I know what it was. All right, looking at the Asian session. Again, guys, this is a element to your trading strategy that if you understand it, it will help you get super paid. All right, so out the Asian session, guys, we went and took out the high of the Asian session, right? So typically, when we take out one area, we'll go and take out the other at some point in time. We don't know exactly when, but typically it will, get swept. All right, so looking for that low to get taken out, which is really about right here. All right, so again, this is an area of liquidity. All right, but what's happened since we've taken out this high, right, and we've gotten this high, you can see that we just kind of really tap right into, that resistance zone. All right, it's not a line, even though I'm putting a line, it's more of a zone. All right, so think of it like this. Okay, that's a better representation. All right, so basically now what we have is price breaking out of the Asian session, taking out the high right here, and then as we push up, you can see that we pull back down and we tap right. Well, we don't quite tap into the fair value gap yet. All right, that's sitting right here. Okay. So what I'm saying is at this point right here, we didn't quite tap it on the chin. We got close, but it was no cigar. So this was the engineered liquidity. And then as we pushed up, we came back and swept that liquidity as well as tapped perfectly into the fair value gap. Now we have a bullish engulfing candle. This is where I'm going to buy. And I'm actually going to put my stop. So I'm putting it behind this liquidity area here, but I can probably get away with it being right there for just about 15 pips. All right, but either way, guys, I do like it. Yes, we do have resistance right here, but I believe from us breaking above what used to be resistance, all right, and now creating higher highs and higher lows, that we're going to go and create this new higher high breaking above resistance. So yeah, I'm buying $CHF right now. And again, I'll put stop below the liquidity. But now I'm just going to look left, and I see I have this little bit of an support, little wicky wick right there. So I'm going to try to get behind that a little bit. All right, and let's see. All right, that's about 30 pips on my stop loss. Here is a little bit of a demand area that has not been tapped into as well. Okay, but let's see. Okay, is that all right? 36 pips. That's not bad. So I'll take that. Let's make it 40. All right, and obviously we definitely want more than the 1 to 2 on this, so we're gonna go for 100 pips. That's a 2.5, and there it is, right up to our resistance zone. All right, so I'll show you guys what this looks like. Higher time frame. Look at that, guys. Nothing but space and opportunity to the upside, especially once we break above this resistance level. It's pretty much lights out. All right. I think we can even get to this high, so I'm going to crank it up a little more, right about there. And now we have a 1 to 3, and we're already in profit, guys. Here, stop loss is 0.90431, and that is for 40 pips. Okay, take profit is 0.92007. All right, let's get it right. And that is for 117 pips. All right, there's your play, guys. Please hit that like and subscribe button. Again, take the play in your demo. All right, even if you don't have a live account, right, you can take it in the demo. If you're trying to take it in the demo and you don't quite know what to press, let me know and I can see if I can walk you through it. Here is a link for you to open a demo account if you don't have one. All right, it's no hassle. It's just to click this, click that, and boom, you got an account and you can get into this trade right now. Right, and you can see what this is like throughout the day. Typically, I want to give this a 24-hour time frame, but I would like to see that I'm at least in profit within the next 2 to 3 hours. All right. If I'm not, things can change, but typically, when things line up, 2 to 3 hours, you are in profit. So at that point, you can just minimize your risk, either, locking your profit by moving your stop loss to above your entry price, right? Or moving it directly to your entry price. That's what we call breaking even. All right. So if price pushes up and you move this to where you entered, then that is a risk-free trade. Meaning if it starts to fall, which is what you don't want it to do, right? It'll close you out at the price that you got in, so you didn't lose any money. That's break even. All right. But locking in profit is when it moves in your favor. So let's just say this goes 50 pips, and then we move this a little bit above where your entry price was. Now, if price goes against you and it hits that, you would have made some money, right? You wouldn't have broken even. You would have made money, right? So that's locking in profits where you actually are locking in money that, you made. All right. So just keep that in mind, right? These are ways to manage your risk in the Forex market. All right. So let's go and take a look at the dollar, see if it's doing anything in our favor. And it is not. Okay. It is dropping. So, again, not super convincing, right? Because we still haven't really broken below this low, but we do know this fair value gap sits here, which we can easily tap into, like I mentioned earlier, where we'll get this to happen and then we'll probably start rising from there. So even though, we see the dollar falling and we've gotten into a buy on a dollar-based pair, right? Don't let that scare you guys, all right? You know what I mean? This is part of, what newbies have to overcome is seeing that the trade is in red and going against them and not closing it out of fear of losing the trade. All right, guys, you're going to lose. All right, you're going to lose a lot. Okay, but it's going to baptize you in a sense to helping you understand how to win. Okay, and once you start winning, the losses become a lot less. And I mean that in, terms of count, as well as terms of profit loss, right? You're not going to have your account blown. You're going to lose a little bit of money here. It'll be less than 1% of your capital, et cetera, et cetera. And you're going to live to fight another day. I can tell you guys right now, one of the biggest issues with new traders, right, is that when you guys are getting into a trade, you're putting on more than you can chew, right? You're over leveraging, you're putting on a huge lot size, and then when the trade goes against you, you cannot survive the drawdown. So you end up eating away a lot of your capital, or you end up having a margin call where they close out your position. But guess what? The trade goes in your direction, but you just weren't able to capitalize off of it because you choked the trade by doing too much. Guys, if you lower your lot size, you will not have any stresses in the Forex market. Okay? I'm telling you this because I know. All right? If you really want to be stressed out, I mean, stress free, right, and not stressed out, lower your lot size and watch. You'll just sit back and relax while the trade does whatever it's going to do. All right. But you won't be worried. You won't have account blown. You won't have margin calls. All right. So please take that as some advice to help you level up in your trading. All right. But look, we were pretty much almost indecision candle, right? We had almost no body on this candle, and now we're starting to get more bulls to show up. So again, just like I was trying to mention, don't fret that price was going down, right? Especially if you analyze things to tell you that price is going to go up. Just run with it, right? Stick with it. Let it hit your stop loss. Let it prove you right, or wrong rather, right? That you were wrong. Let it prove that to you, right? Don't go closing it out on yourself, because now you'll never really know if you were correct or not, right? I mean, granted, you might see it go up, but you've already closed out the trade. So, you were right, but you made yourself wrong by closing it out. Don't do that to yourself, guys. All right? Please, just try to keep it together. All right? And let it play. All right? So let's take a look. All right? So now dollar is doing something else. All right? Still dropping. All right? And we're getting closer to that FVG. No surprise there, right? And some of you may be thinking, well, if it was, if we're expecting it to go to this FVG, why don't we just sell, the dollar based pairs? I mean, you could do that, right? You know what I mean? You may make some money, you may not, but it's all on how you are analyzing the charts, right? What you can see, whatever you can see is, potential of happening, right? You can take advantage of. It's all a game of odds, ladies and gentlemen, right? You're never going to be 100% right in any trade, right? You're going to be you won that trade, but guess what? You were 85% right and you won, right? You won another trade, okay, you were 95% right on that, right? You know what I mean? But you're never 100%, guys. Never, ever, ever. So please, just understand, right? If you're seeing a trade going one way, or it has the potential of going one way or the other, right? Think about how high of a percentage that is. How many things are on the chart telling you that price is going to fall? How many things are on the chart telling you that price is going to go up? How many things are in the news, right? On the fundamental side of things, not the technical, but the fundamental side. How many things are in the news telling you that it's positive or negative, right? You put those things together, you calculate your probability, and if it's anywhere over 80, 90%, I guess, right, then you should feel pretty good about it. All right, but if not super confident, if everything looks mixed, like it can go down and up at the same time, it's just best to kind of stay away from it, right? These are all little tidbits, guys, to kind of keep you you know good, all right, without having to stress. But it's on you. All right. So just setting some alerts here. We're going to take a look at US 30 once again, and look at that. We are back in profit. All right. So just going to put some more alerts, see if it's going to keep dropping. Because again, I do see, I see the pullback, right? There's potential here, right? But sometimes, guys, we don't get it. All right. We don't always get that pullback. I know it seems, like we preach about it pretty heavily, which we do, but if you trade long enough, you'll understand, right? Sometimes you get it, sometimes you don't, right? You know what I mean? Let me say most times you get it, all right? And then sometimes you don't, right? So just depending on how things go, by the time the dollar taps into this fair value gap, right, it would have mitigated whatever it needed to mitigate here, right? It would have balanced out from the buyers taking over here to now the sellers, right, getting a chance to, either make some profit, break even, what have you, right? It's going to just give them a chance to like not exit their positions, right? So if they sold from anywhere, right? Like let's just say they sold from like right here, right? And see how it went down, but all of a sudden we just turned completely around. Maybe their stop loss was up here and it didn't get hit. So now everybody who sold from right here, who had a stop loss up here, they're praying for this to continue to go down because look, this is where they got in. So now they're a little bit in profit. So they're thinking, oh, they're good now. And they're thinking that it's going to keep dropping. But it's really just going to balance out the imbalance of buyers from this area, right? To allow the sellers to just balance out the books. All right. And after that, the bulls step right back in and we're off to the races. All right. So again, guys, I'll break a lot of this stuff down and really get you to understand it. But you got to come rock with me. Okay. ForexWithBain.com. Click on the link for the Discord and let's get jiggy. All right. But there it is in the fair value gap. So, I'll put some more alerts below it just to see if it's going to continue to fall. But I'm going to drop my alerts above to let me know when it starts rising once again. All right, that looks good. Let's look at our dollar CHF. All right, so that is pulling back some now into, let's go here. All right, so yeah, we just tapped right back into the fair value gap. But like I told you guys, we took out the high of the Asian session, so we can easily come and take out the low, right? Which is why I didn't put my stop loss right here behind that low. Even behind this one, right? I put it behind the demand area. So pricing come and do its dance. And then before you know it, we're heading back up and, we're getting into profit. All right. That's how that's going to go. Again, any questions, any comments, any concerns, please let me know now. And I will be more than happy to answer you. Okay, I'm going to take a glance at some other trades. Okay, I hope you guys watched my Sunday watch list or my weekly watch list. I think I posted it on a Saturday or Sunday before the week, and I told you guys about pound odd, and here it is. So 356 pips, and this was basically here Sunday. So really, let's go from about right there, 224 pips in 3 days. All right, guys, standard lot. That's $2,240. All right. Pound CAD did the same thing. It rose. Pound CHF rose. GJ is falling. All right. So let's take a quick look at the JPY. Oh, JPY just broke supply. All right. So we could definitely continue to rise, but we're battling a bit of a resistance level here. So we got to watch out for that. Either way, I got my alert set. So if we do start breaking above, then I'll be going to look for my selling opportunities on the JPY pairs. All right, dollar's doing something. All right, now we're deep into the fair value gap. All right, so now will it continue to tap into demand, or will it start rejecting out of this fair value gap and start rising? Let's look at $CHF, and now we're seeming to get a few bulls to show up. Okay, nope. Oh, just a little rejection though, but you know, guys, we'll see. So just adjusting alerts. All right, boom, bam. All right, get rid of this fair value gap. It is no longer valid. All right, our position is right about there. All right, JXY is going off. So you see how initially, you know, saying, hey, our dollar looks bearish, but now it's climbing just a little bit. So again, you know, it had that mixy feel because again, it was at this level of support that it was respecting. All right, right there. So, you know, it's hard to sell, right? When you know that you're at a level of support. So this is looking like a double bottom and it's looking like it can rise, right? But until we really break above this high, we are still down. Okay? That's the gist of it, guys. I know it seems like it's very complex, but it's really not. All right? So let's just get these alerts closer. All right, I think that'll do it. And we'll come back if we get alerted. All right, so euro dollar, definitely see how it respected the support level and then just took off just now. So as the dollar, you know, started to do its pullback, the euro dollar is doing its pullback. So now I definitely like the notion of getting ready to sell it now, okay? Because again, as we broke this low, right, we came and we started making these new lows. We started this, you know, we got the equal lows, which looks like a double bottom, and we broke above, but it's really all, this is just going to be the pullback, right? There's so much manipulation and engineering that happens in this move here, guys, that if you know how to read it, then, you know, right? But basically, when we broke this low, right, this was the supply area that initiated the break, right? And then here's another little bit of a supply area, right? Because as we came down, we stalled, we went sideways, and then we came down and dropped to really break the low. So you got two supply areas, all right? But this would be the main one that initiated that break. As we, break any low or high, we should pull back to that same area that initiated the break, or the actual low point, right? The previous low that we broke, we should come back to that area to kind of retest it. But you can see as we fell down, we didn't really quite get here or get here yet. So this was engineered, right? Liquidity to get people induced to sell, all right? Which is good, right? Because you made some money, right? But now came back, took you out if you had a tight stop loss, right? And it wasn't above any previous highs, right? Took you out. And now it's potentially going to tap into supply before falling. We also have a nice huge fair value gap right about here. Okay, and you can see that we tapped into the fair value gap. So we can fall from there as well, guys. But looking at it this way, right, you can tell that the dollar most likely is going to rise, right? Because we are still in a downtrend or newly downtrend structure, right? We broke structure from price rising to now price falling, and this was nothing but the pullback to the fall. All right, it doesn't look like it for most, right? But when you know, okay? So again, getting some alerts on the euro dollar to see if it falls, and I'm enticed to kind of sell it right now. All right. But I want to see the dollar start to rise a little more. Look at that, guys. Somebody come look at this. Look at that perfect rejection right off the middle point of the fair value gap, right? Doesn't get any better than that. Elliot, welcome, welcome. I'm not live every day, but this week I have been live on Tuesday, today, and I will be live tomorrow. So make sure you check out the lives on my page and hit the notification bell for it so that you'll know exactly what time I'm going live. And I appreciate that love and support. But yeah, so again here on the dollar, guys, got our rejection, but now we need the bulls to really start showing up and closing higher. That way we can feel a lot better about selling the euro dollar. All right, even though I'm very, very enticed to do it right now. All right, but I want to be patient and just get what I need so I can really go down to the lower time frame and look. I'm looking for a change of character and I don't really see it here. All right, so again, doesn't mean that it's not going to drop because it's doing that right now. Alerts are about to go off on it. But if I can see a change of character on this lower time frame, then that would make everything a lot more lovely. All right, so Bain, where would that change of character be? You keep saying, change of character. Well, as I look at this move, this is pretty much parabolic, meaning that it didn't give any kind of dip on it. So when we went up, it didn't give us any pullback before going back up, right? It just went straight up. Okay, so I have no lows to really look at in this move. I mean, maybe right here, right? Maybe right there, but that's really not a V shape, right? Here is my V shape right here. So a change of character would be price breaking below this area. Do you understand what I'm saying? So again, we'll pull down. Once we break this low, okay, that will tell me that we are going to continue falling. And at that point, is most likely where I would want to sell the euro dollar, and I'll probably make a ton of money doing so. All right. So here, just looking at it back on the higher time frame. And again, guys, I want you guys to remember that, right? When you're looking to catch price going back in the direction of the overall trend, the lower time frame is where you want to look for that change of character, right? From where it was going up to now it's going back down, which is what the overall trend is on the higher time frame. This is looking really, really good. I feel like I'm missing out, but again, wait for what you need to and you'll feel a lot better. All right, so let's take a look. Our USD CHF was going off, and I see green here. Now we're not quite back in profit yet, but I do see that the bulls have shown up, right? And I can see that from the rejection or the wick rejection on this candle. All right, so we're going to start to climb up, guys, and we may just end up right back in profit. Let's see what the dollar's doing really quick. All right, yep, nice rejection. So here it is, right? If we push back up and we break above this area that we broke, right? So right about here, all right, follow me. Right here, guys, is where we broke and we came below. So if we push back up and we have a candle that opens and closes above this area, then we're most likely going to start heading back up, guys. Again, we needed to sweep liquidity. Here was money sitting here. Here was money sitting here, right? Sitting here. It was all engineered. And then here was the imbalance, right? If you will. So I'll just put it like this. I'll put buyers, sellers, whatever, right? But really it was the buyers, right? That created this gap, right? So we went and balanced that out, right? Sellers are like, yay, we're falling. So, they sold someplace over here, right? And now since it fell below where they sold, they were able to get a little bit of money, a little bit of profit. But look how quickly it's turning around on them, right? So now they're still holding on because this impulse move down got them thinking that it's going to continue dropping, which it could, but it's holding them, right? So they're still, getting trapped, if you will, right? Because they're praying, oh, please go down, please go down, please go down, but it just keeps inching higher and higher and higher, and then eventually it takes them out, right? And that money that's sitting there is, for their stops are acting as a magnet for price to go to. Okay, guys, that's how this thing works. And again, the more you guys, tap in, the more I'm going to unlock all the secrets, and you guys are going to really be able to piece this thing together to where it's not going to seem as difficult as you once thought it was. All right. So that's just that. Again, got to let it do its thing. And we're going to hang on to, basically the dollar CHF for now, guys. I mean, we didn't really get much movement out of news. So there wasn't a whole lot of volatility out of it. But, we're still getting into the stock market opening and, other surprising things from our president. All right. So there's news lingering tomorrow as well that, will probably have this, halted for a bit. All right. So again, don't fret if things aren't moving today. Just know that there's other things that are pending for, some movement. All right. But let's look at euro dollar before we go. And we made a nice push down. But like I mentioned, guys, here would be that low that I needed to get below so that I can feel good about it, dropping. All right. I like that it is dropping right now. All right. This looks like a little bit of a supply area. Okay. But it's just not quite ready yet. And this is the difference between your professional and your amateur traders, right? We know when it's not ready, right? The rookies, they don't know when it's not ready. So they see it falling and they have fear of missing out, right? FOMO, and they just sell it, right? But price will do a little dance and then you'll see, you'll look right here. Here was the area that we broke. All right, we broke this high. So now this is acting as support. All right, so as it's dropping, we can get right here. They sold it from right here, but we get right here to this support and then we start to bounce up, breaking above this high. And they're like, shit, it was going down. Why did I lose? Right? Story of my life, right? With just teaching a lot of new people, right? That's their number one thing. I don't understand why I keep losing, right? And I hope you guys understand why. And more importantly, prevent it from happening. All right. It's just patience. That's really all it takes, guys. Please check out my track, Patience in $100. I kind of tap into it to let you guys know that you gotta be patient. All right. But is there any questions, any concerns whatsoever, ladies and gentlemen? Is there any pair that you guys want to take a look at? Because we can do so really quick. Let me know. Elliot, you can find the music on my YouTube channel under the Forex music playlist. All right. You can also search for me on any of the streaming services under the artist name Big Bain. All right. And I put it in the chat for you. I don't have all my music on the social streaming services right now. There's just maybe roughly 3 to maybe 5 tracks that are there. But you can also go to my BeatStars. Again, the links are on my pages. I have a BeatStars page. I'm on SoundCloud. So, you look around, search for BBIDF or Big Bain or Bain Break It Down Forex. You'll find me somewhere. And I got everything. So you probably want to listen to Support and Resistance, Pips, Double Top, Forex Broke Down, Forex Business. All of these tracks will indoctrinate you, all right, and really get you to understand some things that you never knew you could learn just by listening to the song, all right. I'm taking a new wave, all right, with the way that, I teach my people how to get to this, right? We love our music, right? And, once you learn the lyrics, it's game over, right? You'll be reciting how to take a trade without even, trying to, recite it. You know what I mean? It'll just be stuck in your brain and you can't get it out. So you can't help but to, do good in your trading. All right. But, yeah, definitely is where you can go to check it out. Oh, nice. Nice. Yeah. Again, if you, get in the Discord, we do have a section where you can chat in there and, you can tell me about your music, man. You never know, we might end up collabing. I'm open to that. I did create a Patreon site. It's not set up completely yet because I just started, but once I get it set up, we can get in the mix over there, because I look for a lot of feedback from my members and my followers, right? And just my Forex traders on, certain directions that I want to go with my music. And I'm always looking for beats and everything else in between. So yeah, I'll be interested in what you got going on for sure, to see, what we can do. So got it. All right, awesome. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so if there is nothing else, I will bid you adieu, but please understand I'm looking for the dollar to rise. It looks like it's just going to take a little bit more time for it to do so, but don't be surprised by, maybe 12 o'clock, we see price above this red resistance area, getting ready to now balance out this fair value gap. The market looks to do two things and two things only, guys. Seek liquidity and balance out. All right, so we just got this balance. So where's the next place we can go to balance out price? Up here. All right, it's just that simple. All right, so again, guys, if there's nothing else, I hope you guys have a great morning. Thank you for rocking with me, and I will see you guys tomorrow, all right, at 8:15. All right, meantime, in between time, y'all be good. Peace.